Hello everyone, it's me, John Lorden. Welcome to another episode of BrainScratch Searchlight, actually the last episode of 2016, and I just wanted to take a moment to thank all of the researchers, all of the Patreon subscribers, and you, all of the viewers, for helping me create this show and make it as successful as it is. I'm very happy to see the views keep going up on this show, which tells me you guys are sharing it more and more. We were fortunate enough this year to at least close out one case, found out that someone wasn't missing and helped the police close their case file on it. And we even had a tip come in on another case. So I'm hopeful that as we continue to grow and there are more and more of you out there and we cover more and more cases, that we can truly help some of these families. And that's probably the thing that I've been most impressed by, is on certain cases the families reach out to me, and it's somewhat of an honor. I feel terrible for what they're going through, but I also feel extremely lucky to be able to share some time with them, to hear about their input, to hear about their loved one, but to hear about what they're going through, and hopefully occasionally lend a shoulder for them to lean on a little bit. That's probably been the most rewarding part of this whole YouTube thing for me so far. So thank you to all the families that have reached out. And today's case is no exception. Today we are looking into the case of Angela, or also known as Angie Barlow, and her aunt reached out to me directly and asked me to cover this case. So very happy to do so. Let's jump in and get started. Starting with the missing poster, we can see a bit of the critical information here. Angie Barlow, age 23, 5 feet tall, 140 pounds, dark brown hair, dark brown eyes, tattoos, and they note on the chest and left arm. She drives an '06 blue Pontiac G6 with a license plate WBW 854. Originally, that car was missing. It has since been found. We'll get to that information here very quickly. Last seen on October 26, 2016 at Harcourt Road in Indianapolis, Indiana. There is a reward. You can see they also noted the case number, which I'm really happy they did. A lot of these missing posters do not do that, and now that I have some experience trying to call in tips, I can tell you if you have a case number, it makes that whole process a lot easier. So I will also include that in the description box below with all the contact information that I found for this particular case. And let's dive into the details and see if we can learn about what happened to Angie. Now, this picture on the left is fairly important. I don't know if this is from the actual night that she disappeared, but I do know she was wearing these clothes. So take note of that picture in particular. This picture on the side, you can see she has text written across her chest. It says, "This too shall pass." We get some better description from NAMUS in terms of her tattoos, so we will go over that soon. But just to give you a little bit of an intro into this case, Angela Barlow was last seen at a party on Wednesday night. A friend of Angela's told her mother that Angela got a few calls from a man and left the party around 3 a.m. Angela has not been seen since. Once again, they're giving us the basics. She's 23, 5 feet tall, brown hair, brown eyes, driving a blue Pontiac G6 from the year 2007. Let's jump to NAMUS so we can get a bit of a better physical description about her. Brown hair, shoulder length, naturally curly, dark brown, does wear extensions. Both eyes are brown, dark brown, large eyes, slightly slanted upward. And here, in terms of tattoos, there's a lot of description. One across her chest, "This too shall pass." "Two" is spelled incorrectly, it's just T-O. On one left arm, scripture, "That through the Lord which all things that strengthen me." Wording may be incorrect. On the left shoulder, "On Buddha," or Buddha, spelt two different ways. One on lower back, large, says Angela, swirly decorations around it. Paw print on each side of her outer thighs, maybe bear paw prints. Left pelvic area that is almost a heart. The bottom of the heart goes down. Piercings, we have both ears pierced, and artificial body parts. She has a plate and 6 screws in her left leg. Other distinctive physical characteristics: birthmark, light brown, size of an egg under one of her arms near her armpit. Also, due to that plate she has, I believe there's some scarring on that left leg that you can also notice. And here they're also noting that she's 5 feet tall, but they're saying that she is thick and muscular, that she's not fat. Now, you know, in these cases, we always talk about the possibility, did Angela run away? Was there something that she was trying to get away from in her life? Usually pets being left behind is a bit of an indicator. I don't think many people would choose to abandon their pet. Maybe they would give them to someone else before they would run away, or make sure that they were taken care of in some way. It seems kind of inhumane to me, at least me personally. Admittedly, some people might be in such a horrible situation that they can't take care of their pet before they leave. But here we have some info about Angela's pet from her mother. The mother, who filed the missing persons report on Angela, said she found her daughter's Yorkie named Pablo left unattended in Barlow's apartment. Angie had moved to Indianapolis about 4 years ago, and she has never before been missing for an extended period of time. And for the first round of press, there were a lot of different news organizations covering this story, and basically those details I gave you, that was about all that they would spill out, and just that the police were searching for the car. This next article, thankfully, dives in a lot deeper, and we get a lot more detail about what's going on. Jumping over to wishtv.com, who it appears is a local affiliate in the area. This was published on November 23rd, 2016. Hours before her parents would file a missing persons report, Angie Barlow texted this message to a friend: "Doing a private party at this address just in case I go missing, LOL." It is believed to be the last text message she sent anyone. So first of all, I'm assuming that they have omitted the actual address. I believe she probably texted that address to her friend. She seemed to be doing this as a matter of safety. And the term "doing a private party" at this address certainly leads me to assume, and it will be confirmed later in this article, that she is a dancer. She works at a place called Club Rio in Indianapolis. If you do a quick search at Google, you will certainly see some reviews about what type of place this is, and it confirms right here it is an adult entertainment club. So Angie is indeed a dancer. I don't know if the family was very forthcoming with that originally, and unfortunately, I think they had a good reason not to be. It seems like the press around this, before that piece of information came out, there was a lot of news organizations reporting on this story, and it seems to have thinned down considerably. I don't know if it's because she's a dancer or not. Personally, if that is the case, I think it's ridiculous, because this is a person that's missing, and they are not any less of a person because they work in adult entertainment. So that's why we're covering this case and hopefully raising exposure to it, and why I ask all of you out there, particularly if you have friends in the Indianapolis area, please share this video. Let's get many more eyes on this case, and hopefully many more people aware of Angie and out there looking for her. But let's continue back at the article at wishtv.com. WishTV.com actually did some investigative work on this, which I find sometimes rare by some of these news organizations. Newly uncovered court documents are raising questions about if police are shifting focus of their investigation. The records show that the missing Indianapolis woman may have been placed in the trunk of her own car and driven away from a Northwest Side apartment complex where she was attending that private party. Just jumping down to fill in the gap there, the car was discovered by authorities on November 8th. They were a bit hush-hush about the location of where the car was found, I think because they're wondering if someone that lives close to that location has something to do with this case. But let's continue. Details from the search warrant affidavit also show that detectives reviewed surveillance video and took DNA swabs from her Pontiac G6, which was discovered on the east side of Indianapolis. The records show detectives may have discovered blood on a rear seat back. Surveillance footage shows that Barlow's car left around 3:30 a.m. It was followed by another car. Barlow's mother told investigators that she had learned her daughter may have been with a man she had met at Club Rio, where Barlow worked as a dancer. The article continues, mainly noting the family's frustration. And it's strange because they obviously have surveillance footage of this car following her car, but I have not seen any information about that car released yet. So it seems like the authorities working on this case are not looking for the public's help in finding that second car. which leads me to believe they might have identified it already. I don't know if maybe they got a license plate off of the surveillance footage, or at least they're at the point in their investigation where they're not asking for help trying to find that. And unfortunately, this article at wishtv.com is the most comprehensive in terms of details. There is just not a lot of additional detail out there. You might want to review the NAMUS profile. I will have that in the description box below, and I was pretty thankful to see that there has already been a profile for her created at NAMUS. I don't know why, but in many of these cases, the authorities seem to miss that step, but it seems like they got it in this one. In terms of theories, this seems like another case where this looks like a pretty straight up abduction. I don't think she left of her own accord. We don't know about her personal items. There are no reports from police about was her purse located? Did they find her cell phone? Even her keys. Were her keys in her car? How was that found? The family even asked about the car seat, about the position of the car seat. She was only 5 foot tall, so if there was someone larger in that car driving it, they might have moved the seat back. Authorities won't even answer that question for the family. So there are a lot of big holes in this story. Unfortunately, what I've shared with you is about all the detail there is, but there are some other websites I want to make you aware of, other ways that the family is looking for help. Starting off with a Gofundme campaign. Now, right now, they've announced that there is a $5,000 reward. They raised that money doing a bowling night. Apparently, Angie was also a bowler. Her father took her bowling ball and started off the festivities that night by rolling her ball down the lane. They raised about $7,000 that night. They now have to start covering her expenses, her rent and her car payment. She's been missing for coming up on 2 months. So some of that money went towards that. $5,000 of it has gone towards a reward for information about her and her safe return. This GoFundMe is essentially to up that reward. They're trying to get it raised to $12,500, which is why they're looking to raise another $7,500. So if you are so inclined, please use the link below. Come to this GoFundMe page and donate some money to Angie's family and hopefully help raise that reward and help bring her home. On top of that, they've been very good with a Facebook page called Find Angie B. You can come here and connect with them, show your support. They have all the current posters. They're looking for people to help print the posters, put them up in certain areas, and they're sharing information that they have, a lot of detail that they have as well. So another good place to learn more about this. On top of that, there is another page, which I believe this might be managed by her cousin. Yes. This one is Find Angie 23. And once again, just another place where you can come and find some additional information. I think this is where I found out that these are the clothes that she was wearing the night she went missing. On top of that, in reading through some threads on this case, I came across this post. And I know that this person, Shane Waters from American CrimeCast, is indeed helping the family. Their page talks about him. So I did want to share this information. I don't know how it's related to the case, but let's read this and see what Shane says. Hey guys, I'm Shane Waters, the host and investigative podcaster and PI of American CrimeCast. I'm trying to locate these two people, Baron McCullough and Raven Miller, for questioning in regards to the disappearance of Angie Barlow. She was last seen with them inside their apartment and has not been seen or heard from since. The whereabouts of these two individuals remain unknown. If you have any information on this disappearance or the whereabouts of these two people, please contact Shane at AmericanCrimecast.com or call 1-800-222-TIPS. And just let me put it out there. I do not know, were these the people at the party that Angie went to that night that she was at earlier in the night, or are these the people where she was supposed to be going to between 3 or 3:30 whenever she left to go to this, quote, private party? But I just wanted to share that with you guys. It looks like at least Shane is trying to get in contact with them for some more information about Angie. Websleuths also has a thread going on her. I'm going to leave this photo collage up, so hopefully you can take a little section of your memory and just burn this image in there. If you have any information about where she is or possibly what happened to her, please use the contact information in the description box below. Outside of that, if you want to learn more about this case, all the links that I've gone through in terms of research are in that description box as well. Keep in mind, you can also help the family with the Gofundme campaign or by showing your support by going to their Facebook pages. It's really a shame that Angie apparently is going to miss Christmas with her family. She has little sisters. They're taking care of her dog right now. Of course, she has a father and a mother that are very concerned about her well-being, and rightfully so. To me, I don't know that there's much else to look at this case in terms of it being a missing persons case. It seems like this is an abduction, and that is terrifying, and I just wish them all the best and hope that we get a good outcome out of all this. And luckily, if there's anything I've learned in doing a year of this show in particular, it's that sometimes these cases play out in very unexpected ways. Sometimes it takes a long time for that to happen, but it doesn't always come out in a horrible, horrible tragedy. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this is one of those cases for the sake of Angie and her family. Thank all of you so much for joining me here on another BrainScratch Searchlight. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you on the next show on the Lord and Arts channel.